Elon Musk. This is the chart from Tesla. I changed the time frame because we were already over the cloud and I wanted to see something with the cloud. So if you can see that we had a hole here, and I thought it would stay here in this range. So everything is now smaller, but it just jumped over it and it jumped upwards. It's always at $180, so I thought the resistance would be 160, and I know the next will be 175 to 200. It looks like it's already at the bottom, or it's already in this range. So this resistance was this, but I'm talking about the 200 and 175 200 resistance. It's already entering this, so maybe this will be the place where it will wait until the announcement in March. There is another resistance on top of it. It can be that next week it can jump over this one and it can jump over this one. That is this chance is very small. I think if it jumps over this one, so if it goes like a pull here, we have to see a retrace, because the cloud still, we have to see the cloud also going up. At the moment it is down, but you see something happening here, so it can go. There can be next cloud can go up, and I expect also that the cloud will go up. And if we see this longer time frame, we see that it is lagging and it's just crossed here, but they are parallel. So it looks in this chart that it is also an uptrend. It has to reach the upper side of the cloud. That is maybe $180 or something. And if it breaks, we have to wait for, I think this is a month, something like a month, to really become. This one has to stick out from here. So then, so in a month we can see a real uptrend. And if it continues this real uptrend, it can break this box. So it can wait until and it goes to the top of the box, and if then there is still positive news, we can see it jumping to the next resistance. It will be here and go in that box and wait there until some news comes, maybe some special news that maybe car company goes broke and they got more market share, and then it will go crazy up. So I think there will be some stages again. Here between 175, it is now until 200, and then the next will be around 300. I think we have to come in a waiting period. Don't think that we will see like a crazy uptrend like this. It can be, but I don't think so. Yeah, I was amazed that it could break the 160 so easily. It has to do maybe something with Toyota that changed the manager there, and that people thought, okay, if Toyota is acknowledging that they are lagging behind cars and the car sales are bad, and Tesla eats up this market, maybe that was this jump. I think still the big investors are not in there, so I think if the big investors really gone, the pension funds are really buying stock, I think we can go, that will be the push over the 300. That will, I think that will happen around, maybe around here, in this area, or at this area, that the big investors start to re-enter the stock. Can also be that some front runners are already re-entering now or next week, before the announcement that they will start to buy, but I don't think so, because these big investors normally wait and they just take the easy ride up and don't want to guess. So what to expect? I think if we are lucky, we stay around $200. If we are not lucky, we can revisit the low, and that is $150. So this is a $50 change. That is almost, let me think, 20%. So it can still go down. It can do this, and then shoot up. It can go this, it can go up here, or the rare situation, it spikes up all to the top. I think let's choose the middle. I think it will wait and then go up. I think it will maybe can spike. If it has to spike this spike downwards to fill this hole, it has to go almost 15% down the stock, and I think that's maybe too big. So So normally I will say, okay, we'll fill out the hole. It is the we see also holes here, and we see some holes here, because I think this is typical Tesla, that it can jump crazy. So let's assume that this hole will not be filled, and that means that this will be a resistance here, like we saw here, and we saw here. That means that it will be going upwards, and look, these holes are the same place, so maybe that's a sign that is $150, so maybe it will go to $150 if you look at the holes. But I think it will range a little bit. I think people that wanted to buy the stock, but they are now thinking, some people will think, I already too late, because this was the bottom, it's already 70% up, so they think, ooh. But it could also be that people think, if it has 70% up, it can go up here, so we are still at the 1/3 of the path upwards, so maybe people will start still buying. And I also think it will probably go up at the end of the year here, so it is still a good time to buy for investment. Not for short traders, this will be more difficult, because the short trader, daily trader, has to look for the spike down and hope that he can catch the spike down and go up. But it can also be that it never spikes down. So the advice is always look at a buy position instead of a sell position. So don't short the stock; it's too dangerous, I think. And for investors, if you buy every day or every week a little bit, you're always okay, like an ETF. And the rare situation that it spikes down, fill a hole, that's maybe a chance to buy a little bit extra. And I think the path upwards is set in. We have a resistance at 150, so it probably not visit the 100 anymore. So it all sounds good. Nice thing to go into the weekend, and see you next week.